Hey, this is Ken Finnan from Capital Advantage Tutoring, and it's my job to get you to pass the SIE exam on the first time. So if you want to prepare for the SIE exam, a key component of your SIE exam prep is watching my videos. I will help you. I've gotten some feedback. Some people say I'm good. Some people say I suck, whatever it is. Some people don't like my attitude. I love my attitude. So here's my thing, and free is free, right? So first of all, if we want to raise money and I'm a corporation and I need to do some stuff, what I'm going to do is I may give up part ownership of my company in the form of equity. So I'll create a C corporation, have a board of directors, and I'll sell shares to raise money. So basically, it's a legal structure where you buy into my company, you have limited liability. Any of the owners have limited liability. You can only lose what you put in. So you put in 50 grand, you put in 5 grand, you put in $200. All you can lose is the 200, no matter how bad I get. The other way to raise money is to borrow it in the form of a bond, which we'll go heavier into in later chapters. But the bond is where you lend me $1,000 and I'll pay you back that 1,000 in like 30 years. But I'll pay you like $100 a year as an interest, as a thank you every year. That's debt. You're not an owner. So remember, if you're in equity, it's common or preferred, you're an owner. If it's a bond, you're just a creditor, you have no voting rights. The only right you have is to get your money back and to get paid before common and preferred. So God forbid I go out of business, I pay you bond first, then preferred, then common. Or even just general, when I'm paying everyone, it's bonds first, secured, then unsecured bonds, then preferred, then common, okay? So that's the two ways. So now, there are two types of equity, which is ownership. We have common stock, which is basically you're owning. It's the one you always hear about, the one that if you're watching this in the first week of March, you're watching the price of those things tank. So that's common stock. Common stock moves up and down with the profits of the company and what people think of the company, and you have all these great things. So common stock works with the company. It has a lot of growth potential. If you think the company is doing well, it goes up. If you think it's going crappy, it's going to go down. That's based on what we think the company is going to do, okay? We're also paid last in the form of vacation, in the form of bankruptcy. But the good thing is what you can get is you can get dividends. If you have stocks, you can get a dividend. Maybe not fixed, but maybe we have a good year, we'll give you more dividends, okay? The other type is preferred stock. Now, let me go over this. Common stock gets dividends, but the big thing about common stock is you can vote. You have a lot of rights, you can vote. Preferred stock has a fixed dividend. So you have a preferred stock, and you say you buy a 5% preferred. Well, par is 100, so 5% of 100 is $5. So you're going to get $5 a year. Not guaranteed, just likely. And it's really into four dates. So it's quarterly, so you get like $1.25, $1.25 a year. So if you have a 4% preferred, you're going to get $4 a year. If you have a 10% preferred, you're going to get $10 a year. And each payment's going to be in fourths, so you're going to get it 4 times a year. But the thing about preferred is while they get paid before common, they don't get to vote for crap. Basically, the only thing you're buying it for is to get that dividend. They don't get stock split stuff. They don't get to vote. They don't get preemptive rights. All the stuff we'll talk about over the next few weeks or whatever, they don't get that. Preferred basically goes, just give me money. Pretty boring. It trades exactly like a bond. Okay, does that make sense? Okay. So now, what I'm going to do is common stock. Common stock, when we issue, we're going to say, hey, we're incorporating, we're going to authorize 20 million shares. That's not what we're issuing. That's just what we're authorizing in the corporate charter. Now, if we want to issue, we take out of that. So we have a big pool of authorized shares. We'll take like 1 million out of that and issue them. So those are called issue, and that's what we sell to the public to raise money. Say I have 20 million authorized, I grab 1 million, I'm lucky enough to sell them at $20 a share, I sell the million at 20, I now have $20 million to go do capital projects. Now that means I'm giving up ownership of my company. But what's cool is that say I issue it and I go, you know what, I really like my company, I want to buy it back, or maybe I want to give some of my employees some shares, I can buy some of it back in the open market. That's called treasury stock. So we have issued, and then we have treasury. So issued, then we have treasury as us buying the shares back. Issued, then treasury. Issued, we issue it, and then treasury, we buy it back. So it lowers the outstanding. So outstanding is what's out there in trading. So again, we have issued, Treasury, and outstanding. So issued minus Treasury is outstanding. For all you people my age or more, if you remember the OJ trial, the way I remember is Judge Ito. Issued minus Treasury is outstanding. Judge Ito was the judge on OJ. So issued minus Treasury equals outstanding. Outstanding is what's out there and trading. If you want to buy shares, you can only buy outstanding shares. Treasury stock does not get devoted, doesn't get dividends. All it is a little notch on the balance sheet for Treasury. It does not get devoted. You cannot buy it. I cannot sell it. I cannot do anything. The only thing I can trade is the outstanding. Now, this isn't in this chapter, but when they talk about market cap, this is what they're talking about. You take the amount of outstanding shares, multiply it by the price, and that gives you the market cap. That's why Bezos and Bill Gates for a while were going up and down, and who was the richest guy, because their share price was going up times what they owned. So that's it. Now I'm going to go through this, and then we're going to do another video later on this. So you have the right to inspection, which means you get to, as a common shareholder, you have the right of inspection, which means you can look at certain books and records of the company, usually a 10K or a 10Q. You have the right to vote on important matters, not the chairman of the board, not dividends, but you get to vote on stock splits and the actual board of directors. You have the right to receive dividends, which means we pay you quarterly. The company will pay you a portion of the profits. Remember, I'm going deeper on the next one. Right? You get to say you own the stock. It's a piece of paper that goes, hey, Ken owns shares. And then you have the right to freely transfer, which seems like it's not a lot, but it is. The right to get rid of your shares. You buy it now, 2 minutes later, you sell it, you can do that. If you invested in my LLC, feel free to send me if you want to invest. You would have to come in, get lawyers and weeks and papers and sign and get in. And then you go, wow, he's an asshole. You go, oh, I got to get out. Weeks and lawyers. So that's a big deal, that the right to transfer is you can transfer, boom, you buy it, sell it 2 minutes later, 2 seconds later. That's a definite right.